Hey guys, welcome back to Arry the Stag. It's Friday Nite Trunnions, technically, although you will have noticed it's actually broad daylight, but that's another story. It is Friday. We've just come back from the pool car auctions, and Harry is now starting to work on his MGBGT support vehicle, and we're going to put the suspension all back in place this afternoon. So fingers crossed we'll get it all back in before it gets dark. So Harry's just spotted a bit of a problem, which is some bushes he ordered a few weeks ago, not necessarily his fault. Do you want to talk it through very quickly, Harry?
Not 100% sure. They're not the right ones that have been sent.
Yeah.
Good news, what you want when you set up like this.
Yeah, so this is for the anti-roll bar, isn't it?
They're actually a 22mm, these, whereas we are not working on that sort of scale, and you can see here.
Yeah, massive amount of that. That's no good, is it?
That will not do.
They're way too big, aren't they?
That will not do a thing when it's back on the car.
No, okay. We can still put it in, put the rest of the subframe in though without worrying about that.
Oh yeah, we can do that, it's not an issue.
So that's good, and Harry's got it all on the trolley here, all nice and neat, ready to go in. So it's all going to be shortly back into the car, we hope, with 4 bolts to make sure it's all tickety-boo and raring to go. So after some fettling and some manoeuvring with the jack, we had to come in sideways with this on a plank of wood. We've got the suspension in on 2 bolts currently. If we come to the top of the cockpit, we've had to take the air filter off. You can see the shiny new bolt head here. That's one in there. And again on that side, it's a bit easier to get to down there at the bottom underneath the coil. That's in as well, so looking good. Guess it's just a question of trying now to tighten it up and get the front ones in properly. Make sure they're all right. Okay, so what do you want now?
What don't you do? You come around to the other side.
Yeah.
My arm's fucking dead now. You come under.
Come under. Hang on. So the issue now is we've got the back bolt.
Can you see it now or not?
I can see it, but it's not proud yet. It's still about ½ an inch short. So that's the issue we've got. We're getting the bolt up. If we drop it out of the bottom, it's like to fall into the box section of the suspension unit, and then we've lost it because we've got to get it back. So that's not a good idea. So we're just trying to work out a way of getting the bolt up proud enough so we can get the nut on. So Harry, bless him, has managed the first one. It was a bit of a fiddle between 2 of us, but we've managed to get the bolt in. It's not nipped up yet, but you can see both are in now. 2 shiny bolts. So now for the last one, fingers crossed, wish us luck. See if we can get the last one in with some fiddling and messing and general shouting. Yep, I'm here, where are you?
I need a hand.
Okay, got the washer. And we have the nut. So just waiting now for the bolt to come up, and we'll try and attach it. This time it's a bit close to the engine mount or something. There's a bracket, so it might be a bit trickier to mount, but we'll have a go. You can see where it's got to come up through. You haven't dropped it, have you?
Yep.
Have you?
Yep.
What, in the box section? Oh dear. Okay, so Harry's just trying to get that bolt out again, back up into the box section, right underneath there.
Second.
Alright, done that one. Is that the back one done?
Hang on. Right, now you start going.
Yeah. Okay. Slowly but surely, getting it tight.
Yeah, stop a minute.
Right, okay, so this is the last front one now, so we're just going to do this last one up. So reasonably tight, not FT as some of our colleagues like to call it, but reasonably tight, not effing tight. I guess there't a torque to this and we'll work out what that is. But we've done a good job. It's been a bit fiddly, but this is the 4th bolt now going back up. So got a couple of wobblers on there, so we've got a little bit of wriggle room. Get around the carbs, not damage anything. And that is pretty tight. We may just need to torque it, like I said, but there we are. We're in.
Yeah, it's one.
All right.
Yeah.
And just removing the jack, and it's all looking pretty good, I must say. All right, well done. Bulk of the worry and the work now completed. Got to put the brake hoses back in, and obviously the anti-roll bar. That's looking pretty neat. Well done, mate. Good effort. And then we've got the steering rack next.
That's going to go now.
But it's all looking good. Steering rack now, yeah?
Steering rack now. It's cold.
It's been positively balmy compared to the last few days. It's been -6.
It's getting colder.
Look, mate, it could have been a lot worse. You could have been in Arry the Shab. I'll just show the viewers. This could have been the accommodation tonight. Arry the Shab, a 2-berth boat evening as penance for buying Stag cars, which we didn't, so we're not. So that's all right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, under the glistening looking MG compared to what we saw today at the auctions. If that other one went for 8 grand, mate, I reckon they should go for at least that if you even wanted to part with it. I'm sure you wouldn't.
Nope.
It's looking lovely, isn't it? Really nice.
Nicer than having kids.
You don't know that yet, although you're probably right.
Yeah. Cheaper as well.
Yeah, a lot cheaper, mate, yeah. And probably more fun. No, not really. Loving the bits.
We'll put these in afterwards.
Say again.
So when we put it on,
Yeah.
as much as we can, obviously the tracking's going to have to be done. We need to make sure that from the steering wheel to these the hubs are as straight as possible, just so we don't have any wobbles, any traction issues getting it down to a traction centre.
Well, it'd be alright for a mile, literally for a mile.
It's a mile, but
I wouldn't go to Quick Fit after our recent experiences.
no.
We've gone off Quick Fit. I'll explain in another video sometime.
Yeah.
Long story, won't bore you. Anyway, back to the reality here.
Back to this.
Arry's doing a good job. So we're now going to put the steering coupling in. It was easy to do this without it being on the beam, like we said on last week's Friday Nite Trunnions, simply because it's a bit of a fiddle. Yeah, so that's the plan now, to get that on. Away we go. See you on the other side, Mush. Do you want some help? Okay, so we're just trying to join up the steering column now with this universal joint down in here, which is quite a fiddle to actually get the splines and the lock bolt through here on the shaft. And as I said, here it is, beg your pardon, and we're just trying to get that in situ, knowing that the actual steering rack has to achieve a position under here that bolts onto the subframe. So that's what we're trying to do. It's not quite there, but we're very close. And this is what an MG BGT support vehicle to the Stag looks like from underneath it.
Don't have it.
Hang on, what are you doing? I'm not doing anything at all, just taking the weight of it, that's all. So Harry's achieved the impossible. We've got the CV joint all back in and the bolt in. This locking nut here was really important to get in. There's a little half moon cut out of the threads, so it had to be on the right spline to get the bolt through, if it makes any sense. And now everything's gone into line and he's just underneath trying to bolt the rest of the, then drop the nut, bolts onto the steering rack itself, and is now aligned to the right brackets on the subframe. So we have success. Well done, Arry. Ably helped by Tony, by the way. Now I know it's Friday Night Trunnions and there's usually a beer involved, but looks like Harry's turned to some more serious stuff. I just found this out on the road actually, just needs to be chucked in the bin. So as you can see now, it has actually got dark. We're relying on the lights to show us where to go. We're going to have to bring the lights over. This has taken quite a bit of fiddling because we couldn't work out why on earth we had an inch of play on the steering column. The answer is it's a collapsible steering column and you have to push it back in by an inch and then hopefully we'll be able to get rack on properly. We had to take it all off and we couldn't work, absolutely dumbfounded as to how this thing would work, but now we've just discovered by pushing the steering column here back up into the cabin and holding the steering wheel, it took up the collapsible steering wheel, and therefore we've now actually got the inch that we needed to make it all line up and fit properly. But it's probably taken us an hour to work that out, and there we go. Friday Night Trunnions, hey? Alright guys, well it is late Friday now. We've really tried hard. Believe it or not, we can't get this blinking steering rack in. We sussed out the problem with the slack, as you know, and so we've sorted all that out, but now we can't get this universal joint into and onto the splines of the steering column itself. So rather than try and damage everything, we're just going to give up for tonight and give it a go next time. Probably do it in 20 minutes flat next time, I expect. So there you go. So Harry's gone off on a bit of a huff, but I'm sure he'll be back soon and we're going to have a beer and I think things will be fine then. Alright, so that's it for Friday Night Trunnions. Nice to see you, and keep well, and we'll see you on Arry the Stag very soon. Give us a smile, Arry.
Under the covers where she stayed forever.
Happy Fridays, guys.